Welcome everyone to the first season of Stellaris Eterna. We are going to be introducing our first faction, the Sancrosanct Hegemony, ruled by a race known as the Osiri. The Osiri were once known as the Jinn Fallen, and they basically evolved as most intelligent species do on a planet up until they reached their Bronze Age. During the Bronze Age, they were visited by the gods, beings of otherworldly power, and these gods presented them with new edicts and new ideas to expand their people. But not long after their race had visited them, they noticed that some of them started to become reborn after death. That they were blessed by the gods with rebirth. Multiple factions and cultures grew from this idea of rebirth, and this quickly divided into major cultural issues across the entire world. These cultural divides, some were minor in scope, while others were severe in scope. And as they evolved as a culture and developed into a new civilization, some of these divides could not be broached peacefully. And because of these divides, a massive cultural war with the deaths of many raged across Abydos. Eventually, two factions raised themselves above all others. The Osiri, who believed that they were blessed by Osiris with their gift of rebirth, and the Anubi, who believed the reborn had to make a deal with Anubis in order to become reborn, and that they had to pay that debt in order to make sure they are granted a proper afterlife. It seemed like this war would continue without end between the reborn, that the bloodshed would eventually drown all life. But then, the Osiri discovered another blessing they possessed that the Anubi did not. The ability to make mindless reborn on the battlefield, raising them from ally and foe alike. These new reborn would obey the orders of the Osiri without question, and the Osiri used them as a terrible weapon against their enemies, leaving no survivors. By utilizing this ability, they began to quickly and rapidly overwhelm the Anubi, who eventually surrendered to the Osiri. The surrender occurred in the fortress city of Nepexoris, an ancient fortress that had stood long against many invasions. By signing the surrender, the Anubi agreed to serve under the Osiri as a lesser reborn faction, as did several other groups that had worshipped other deities. As the ages progressed and technology improved, the truth of the blessing was discovered. The Osiri know this truth, but refuse to let the now firstborn race, the aspirants, know the complete truth. And they do not prefer to share this information with the other factions of the reborn. The aspirants are told that the gift of rebirth is a blessing of Osiris, and it lies within the blood, but they do not understand the true nature of it. They only seek to be one day chosen to be one of the reborn, and to join the Osiri as the nobility of their empire. The Osiri focus heavily on bloodlines, and making sure those of true-blooded ability are the ones who rule. All others are permitted to have minor forms of leadership. With time, the various factions have calmed, and a tiered society was put into place to maintain proper order and power. The Osiri take their place as the top of the tiers, the true rulers of the Empire. The Anubi are directly below them, as they were the most powerful faction that surrendered. Other factions, smaller ones, were granted other abilities within the Empire. And then the bottom tier of the Empire are the aspirants, seeking to claw their way up the ladder to a higher tier for a better life. Now, the truth of the blessing of rebirth that the Osiris had discovered was it's actually caused by a disease that slowly changes the host into an Osiri or reborn. The Osiri make it a point that those who are infected with this disease are properly educated and positioned in a place that would be useful to the Empire, granting these new members of the society a lesser rank initially until they are properly integrated into our society. The Sancrosanct Hegemony has discovered hyperlane technology, and with this new faster-than-light travel, they will go forth and explore the galaxy, seeking new people to bring into their hegemony and to utilize for the glory of their empire, and to one day, hopefully, find the gods who had left their planet so long ago, and to embrace them as brothers and sisters. The Osiri know that the gods are out there, and know that to truly become worthy in their eyes, they must become their equals. So we shall go forth and explore and join the stars. We will incorporate every resource and wonder we come across. We will vanquish every foe and terror that exists in this big empty void amongst the stars, and we will become one with the gods or become new gods ourselves.